If you're trying to get bouncy like this, then you came to the right channel.
Big LOTTI gang, what's good? Throw the fours up in the chat and welcome back to day 6 of our explosive training camp. At this point, we've already done 5 days of workouts in the weight room and we're done with the weights for the week. Take the weekend to recover, you know what I'm saying? But we got the hair up like Ja because we getting bouncy today. Straight plyometric workouts. So as we get into this workout, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe and turn on them notifications so you don't miss another video. Without further ado, let's get bouncy. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into these plows, we still gotta warm up like usual, especially since we're dealing with a little bit of long-term fatigue from the lifts that we had throughout the week. Remember, we're not static stretching. It's a dynamic warm-up, trying to get the blood flowing and get the heart rate up so that our muscles can be loose and ready to respond. Static stretching is how you get your muscles to relax after a workout. So if you're gonna stretch before you work out, don't sit here and hold each stretch for 10 seconds. Make it dynamic and keep your body moving. We gotta make sure our muscles is ready to react. We're also doing these plyos on the turf for today, because with all the power that we're putting into the ground and all the landings that we have, the turf provides a little more cushion for softer landings. This is gonna protect your knees in the long run when it comes to workouts. But remember, that's a luxury, not a necessity. Work with what you got at home. Do your plyos on carpet, hardwood like the basketball courts. Pause. Last resort should be concrete, but if that's all you got, we ain't no bitch. We still gonna get the work done. Now, this dynamic warm-up I'm about to go through is the same one that I used before our hoop. So if you wanna keep your body healthy long-term, lock in and let's get to work.
Now, you might have seen some of the exercises in this warm-up before, but let me point out some of the key details that I really want y'all to pay attention to. Notice how I'm on my toes during these leg swings. This is for us to activate the Achilles tendon along with adding stability to the ankles. Now, we're gonna continue opening up the hips and activating the hamstring with these forward leg swings. And notice on these, I'm shifting the weight from my heels onto my toes. A little more dynamic activation in the Achilles and calves. Now, from there, I like to move into a deep squat hold, starting to engage the quads while they're in the lengthened position, and yes, we're staying on our toes. I even like to pulse just a little bit to get the quick twitch muscle activated. Then we lean forward to get a deep stretch and activation in the hips. Hips are just about the only thing I'll static stretch before a workout simply because they're so neglected. But then we drop our heels to the ground, stretching the Achilles tendon for a classic deep squat, shifting the weight to open up the hips even more. And by the way we press straight up, you can tell the joints is moving like butter. Then we got these anterior tibialis raises. This is where we activate the front muscles of the shin that are connected to the calf. This muscle is severely underrated because it takes so much impact from landing. So this activation will cut down on knee pain and limit shin splits. Then we got these deep lunges into sprinter stance extensions, obviously opening up the hips even more, but also dynamically stretching the quad and the hamstring. And we finishing off just standing up, getting the body moving, opening up the hips like this, making sure everything's feeling good, and going through a little bit more movement to get the heart rate up.
Now, my shoe of choice for today is the Bron 20s. These are the All-Star colorway. The top 5 hoop shoe for me. A lot of y'all will ask me, what's the best shoe that you should buy or the best shoe to hoop in? It all comes down to your preferences. For instance, I think it's widely agreed upon that Kobe's are the best shoe to hoop in. Now, from a personal standpoint, there are a lot of models of Kobe's that I don't really like, because they don't have the things that I value in a shoe. I remember that when it comes to the signature shoes, a lot of times they're catering to whatever the athlete wants. And with the newer generation of sneakers, it feels like every shoe is based off of the same silhouette. Nike is lacking a lot of originality right now. Adidas is going crazy though, but even they're using the same silhouette for a lot of their shoes too. But notice that when you watch me hoop, and then you ask me what shoe that I like to hoop in, usually wearing LeBron's or Westbrook's. The reason I hoop in those shoes specifically is because they have the things that I value in a shoe. For instance, I don't like sitting low to the ground in my basketball sneakers. A lot of people say they like sitting low to the ground for the court feel. I don't like that. I like sitting a little bit higher because I put a lot of force into the ground. And just mentally, I like knowing that there's a decent amount of cushion to absorb all that force, especially when I'm at higher body weights. Plus, look at my build. I'm 6'4" and currently 217 pounds. So I need a shoe that's gonna be able to handle all that force along with my body weight. We all saw Zion explode out of his shoe at Duke, right? He obviously needed a shoe that was accustomed to handling more force. Now granted, yes, I hoop in LeBron's and I'm not 6'9", 275, 285, whatever LeBron's weight is these days. However, notice as LeBron has gotten older, his shoes have become a lot more sleeker. They used to be very bulky and I was hooping in them back then too. But now with how sleek they are and how much lighter they are, it's way more accustomed for my size. So when you're looking for your next hoop shoe for this upcoming season, think about the things that you value in the shoe. Whether you like sitting low to the ground or high to the ground. What kind of traction are you looking for? What kind of lockdown are you looking for? What kind of breathability in the materials are you looking for out of the shoe? Hoopers come in all sizes, shapes, and colors with all different play styles. So why would we all wear the same shoe? Now, plyo day doubles as cardio for me because we're not just trying to get explosive, we're also trying to build our endurance. Some of these plyometric workouts you see won't have reps, but it'll have a time period that you go for. That's for endurance. You're also gonna see us jumping at a whole bunch of different angles so our body is accustomed to absorbing and redistributing the force at all these angles so that we can apply it onto the court. Side note, remember that the full workout routine is also typed out in the description with the timestamps to go along with it. For my people who are following along in the gym, don't worry, I got y'all. Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss another video from me.
Starting off with the single leg work, we got these low impact single leg line hops. We want these to be as quick as possible, so we're going for 15 seconds each leg. No break in between when we switch though. Heavily focused on the calf and ankle with this one. And you can obviously see how this affects your quick twitch muscle. This workout is definitely geared more towards the speed and agility side of plyometric workouts though. Now, I don't have a mini hurdle for this next exercise, but the bench will do just fine. I've seen these called a lot of things, but the most common names I've seen are lateral high jumps or over and back jump. Either way, it's similar to the single leg line jumps, but these require a little bit more power. If you don't have a bench or a hurdle, you can always just use your backpack or your imagination. But we're getting some serious cardio out of these because we're going at these for 30 seconds. Then we've got these explosive single leg step up jumps. This is where we're building a lot of single leg power. The range of motion doing these is larger than the one that we normally use to jump off one foot. So it requires more power from your quads, glutes, and hamstrings. These can also improve your joint stability, balance, and coordination. And moving on from there, we got a similar exercise coming up next. Now, I did do these weighted, but the weight is just optional. These are the same explosive step-ups from before, only now we're crossing the leg over. Taking that joint stability one step further by training at a different angle, along with more power from your quads, glutes, and hamstrings. Just keep your landings as soft as possible, and remember, the weight is optional. Now, moving back to the quick twitch muscles, we got these single leg box jumps. Landing on 2 feet for balance on the box, but minimizing ground contact time off of 1 foot. Notice as soon as my foot hits the ground, I'm trying to explode back up onto the box. Yes, I understand I'm using the bench in this case, but keep the box low and the reps quick. From there, we're moving into these squat jumps. The medicine ball is optional, but we're moving back into building explosive power. Hold your squat for about 3 to 5 seconds, explode up as high as you can, then you should have a soft landing back into your squat and repeat. And from here, we move into our foot fire drill. Now, I know this looks a little goofy without the agility ladder, but the focus with this one is speed and change of direction. Move your feet as fast as possible and drive that knee to absorb and redistribute the force. And we're finishing off this workout with broad jumps. First couple of sets, I'm landing and jumping as far as I can again. And the last couple of sets is max power output for 1 jump. And I capped off this day with a dunk session, and I might have wound up hooping just because the gym was so crowded. But these are some of the dunks that I got down for the day. Focus mainly on height check dunks rather than trick dunks. We're gonna work our way back up into expanding our dunk bag. Let me know if y'all ever want to see a full dunk session video.
Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for a full stretch and recovery session. Till next time, y'all know the vibes from me. It's peace, love, and happiness to everybody. Continue to stay safe and continue to stay on the grind. Big LOTTI gang, 4's up. We out.